And we have some breaking news coming in. Pakistan continues to target civilians. Shelling continues in RS Pura sector for second day in a row. 6 civilians have been injured in overnight firing along the international border. One BSF Jawan has also been injured. Let's go across to my colleague Pradeep Datta, who has been tracking this closely for the very latest on the situation. Pradeep, this is the second day in a row. Firing has been continuing. We spoke about it yesterday as well. What is the latest that you are picking up, and what is it in terms of those who are injured already?
Remain hot on international RS Pura sector. We have seen that during the last 3 days, the Pakistani Rangers have trained the barrels of their guns towards the civilian areas. 25 civilians so far have sustained splinter injuries. Today morning at about 6:30 a.m., one shell landed in Gopur Basti area nearby, and 6 civilians were injured and they were evacuated to the Government Medical College Hospital. Most of these civilians have sustained injuries on their limbs. Some of them were milking cattle somewhere in the field when shells from across landed. It seems that the Pakistani Rangers have increased the range of their shells. Most of these shells are coming just 5 kilometers inside the civilian areas. That clearly shows the intent of Pakistan, that they are trying to inflict more and more casualty of the civilians. This is not an accidental shelling, but this is an intentional shelling going on. BSF 2 is retaliating to silence Pakistani guns. We have seen that throughout night they kept on pounding shells in civilian areas here in RS Pura sector. Initially it was flat trajectory fire. Later on they started firing 82 mm mortar shell. The range of 82 mm mortar shell is about 5 kilometers, and they are trying to target, they have increased the range of their shells. They are trying to target mostly the villages. About 18 villages so far have been bombed by Pakistan during the last 3 days. And yesterday we have seen that about 15 border outposts were also targeted. BSF 2 is trying to open fire. They are retaliating heavily. They are trying to silence the Pakistani guns. What is irony is that despite targeting civilian, Pakistan keeps on blaming India for the cross-border firing. We have seen that yesterday also they have summoned the Indian envoy, and they have blamed India for the firing on the Pakistan side. But the situation on ground nails Pakistan lies and exposes Pakistan, because most of the shells coming from the other side have the marking POF. That means these are made in Pakistan Ordnance Factory, and each and every civilian injured narrates the ugly truth behind the Pakistan shelling, because most of these villages that are being targeted by Pakistan are far away from the border outposts. This clearly shows that they are intentionally targeting civilians. They are trying to inflict casualty, and they are using heavy caliber weaponry. And right now, while I am speaking to you, the heavy mortar shelling from Pakistan side is continuing in some of the areas, and BSF is retaliating to silence Pakistani guns.